Alright, well, I'm taking the scooter out for a hiking trip today. Get some deep breaths there. Okay, well, we are out on a hiking trail, or about to be anyway. Well, here we go. Got a little gate to cross through here. Let's see if I can figure out how to open the gate. Oh, okay, that was very easy. Well, the pond is completely dry. So I'm guessing I'm not going to see any cows on this trip. Okay, I am zoomed in as far as I possibly can, and I cannot tell in the sun if that building in the distance is showing up. But from back here, it looks like a giant, like, llama or camel or something. It's kind of cool. Okay, I'm a half mile into the trail, and I thought I would show a little bit of what this portion of the trail looks like. So it does have these little markers here, and you can see that's in front of me, and that's where I came from. And you can see, like, this trail, even though it's going through the mesquite, and it's all gravel here, but it's very well maintained, and it's easy to make out here. So it is an easy trail to hike, even though the surroundings are all look exactly the same. It's just a field of mesquite. Okay, I've reached the end of the trail. They have these little signs here just talking about different facts about the trail. And I think that might be Spaceport in the distance, but I'm not 100% sure because there's also cattle ranches out here. So I brought some cheese, which is already kind of soft, so I don't know if it's going to be any good. Pickles, some salami, my drink, and I have a Snickers bar for a snack, and I got some Cheez-It snack mix or something if I want something crunchy. I'm trying to show more of the trail, because when I was doing my video, or when I was editing my video from last week, I was like, boy, I just talked the whole time and I didn't really show anything of the trail that I was on, which, you know, on the one hand, it's like, that's not really the purpose of me doing these videos. It's not the purpose of my channel. You know, I'm not doing this as like some kind of educational thing about the trails in New Mexico, or it's not for entertainment purposes. This isn't a service that I'm providing. It's a digital diary for me to track my progress on my mind, body, spirit revolution that I'm on. But on the other hand, I was like, well, but yeah, if I'm on these trails, I should show a little bit of the trail, right? Can't be all about me. I'm in a really good place right now. I definitely, you know, I know that I still have a lot of work to do, and I know that I'm still gonna, you know, have moments that I have to work on my fear issues and work on my anger issues and work on my neediness and attention seeking issues and all that kind of stuff. But I definitely feel good, and I feel like I've made a lot of progress. Yesterday I downloaded a Feelings Wheel app, and I set reminders on my phone for like, I did 7 a.m. I did like every 8 hours. So starting at 7 a.m. So 7 a.m., 3 p.m., 11 p.m. I'll have a reminder popping up on my phone to tell me to check in with my feelings. And yesterday, like all 3 times, it was happy, happy, happy. Different variations of happiness, but it was just happy, happy, happy. And even though, like, I mean, it's not like I'm walking around just like smiling and joyful all the time, but it's just like, if something happens, it just doesn't stick with me right now. Because I'm just kind of learning to let go of things faster. And I've really been doing a lot of work on my thoughts. And kind of, I've taken to sort of like deconstructing them a bit, or I heard Lisa Romano, I've been watching a lot of her videos lately, and she calls it reverse engineering. Kind of like digging into them and seeing, okay, where is this coming from? And I kind of like, I've actually started doing this thing, I'm calling it self-therapy, where every day I pull up my webcam and I sit in front of my laptop and I do therapy on myself. And it's kind of like this, but I can get a little more personal and talk about stuff that I don't want to put out on the internet. And I'll talk about like, where have my thoughts been? And then I'll start asking myself questions about my thoughts and seeing if we can peel back the layers of it and finding where it stems from. Because it always leads back to childhood. For me, I know that a lot of it is just that I felt neglected in childhood, that I was always trying to seek attention, wanting to be noticed, wanting people to pay attention to me, because I never felt like I got attention growing up. I felt like I was ignored a lot. And so, you know, I feel like there was emotional neglect issues in my childhood. And so I can see now where a lot of my, not only my behaviors, but also just my thoughts, lean towards that wanting to be noticed, wanting to be paid attention to, wanting to be wanted, wanting to be needed, wanting to be loved, you know, that's where it all comes from. And then I've worked on like the reparenting aspect of that, of going, okay, I'm obviously needing attention right now. What kind of attention do I need? And then I give that to myself. I give it to myself. I figure out what it is that I'm needing and I provide it to myself. This cheese is so gross, by the way, because it's all warm now. But I feel like I have to eat it, so I'm eating it. It's not good. But that's why we eat it first. Get the worst stuff out of the way first. Here's a hiking tip. Even though this isn't a hiking channel, I will give this one hiking tip. Eat the gross food first. Get it out of the way. Because there's always going to be something gross. There's always going to be something that either like this, like gets too hot or melts or something as you're walking. Or just you try something new and it's not good, but you have to eat it because it's the only food that you have because you're out hiking. You're not in a grocery store. Now I'm going to eat my pickles. Because they are not going to be gross. They're going to be a little bit warmer than they started out, but they won't be gross. They're actually really, really good. I was going to talk a little bit about the election and some of my anxiety around that. But this video is going to be posted the day after the election, so I don't know. I don't think it will really matter at that point how I feel right now. But I'll just say this. Number one, I have a plan for election day. I mean, as far as like how I'm going to deal with my anxiety, because I have already voted. So I have a friend who is sort of my safe space. My co-regulator is how I think of him. And I am going to go over to his place. We both have to work in the evening. So when the actual counting and stuff is going on, we'll both be working. So, but we'll be able to text or call each other throughout the night if we need to. But I'm going to go over to his place for lunch. And we're going to have lunch together. And just try to talk our way through what's going to happen. And I'm trying to think if we're going to watch news while I'm there. Or I might just try to find like some spiritual videos that we can watch to get ourselves into a good place. And maybe even meditate or something. But just so I'm not sitting at home worrying all day, I'm going to go hang out with him until he's got to go to work, and then I'll go to work, and then, like I said, we can just keep in contact throughout the evening. But I am watching, I actually watched a couple of videos today that were talking about, viewing all of this through a spiritual lens. And I'm going to see if I can find some more stuff like that. Because basically what they were saying was, what's the saying, as within, so without, or something like that. That how you feel within yourself reflects what you see on the outside. And so if you're feeling fear, if you're feeling anxiety, that's how you're going to perceive what's going on through that lens. But if you're, feeling more at peace, then you'll view things from a more peaceful lens. While I definitely have fears and concerns over what's going to happen, especially the aftermath. That's what I'm really concerned about, is the aftermath. I was telling myself today that what happens in the world, what happens outside of me, doesn't matter as long as I have peace within myself. Even in the worst situations, you can feel at peace. And I don't know, it might be a little weird, but every time, I always try to go to the worst. What's the worst possible thing that could happen? And I would say that's death, right? But death is just the end of this experience. So I think a lot of where my fears come from is What if I don't get to do all the things that I want to do? What if I never achieve the health? What if I never achieve spiritual awareness? What if I never achieve, a regulated nervous system and emotional maturity and all this stuff? What if I never achieve that because I never get the opportunity because of what is happening in the world around me? What if something happens to prevent me? But it's like, how could anything prevent me from finding all of that within myself? I mean, I guess the fitness part. But does it matter? Like, would it matter if the world was ending? Would it matter? Because ultimately we're just here for the experience. And maybe the experience is meant to be a challenging one. Maybe we're not supposed to have it easy. Maybe it's supposed to be a challenge. And then part of our challenge is finding peace within dealing with a challenging existence. I don't know. I think I just need to get myself into that mindset, though, of just no matter what happens in life, all that really matters is how I feel inside. That's all that matters. So that's the work that I have to do. That's what's ahead of me. Okay, Deep Thoughts by Susan. Now I'm going to go find a bathroom. I just remembered that there was something that I meant to talk about and I forgot. But I did pick my 13 hikes for next year that I'll be repeating 4 times each on my 1 hike a week challenge. This is actually one of the hikes. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put them in any specific order and then just repeat the order. Or I thought about doing something where I just draw them out of a hat. And once I've done all 13 trails, put them all back in a hat and start over. So I'll work on that. And also, I looked at the hiking logbook that I already designed. And I actually feel like it's pretty usable for this. I just need to tweak a few things on it. So I think the details section is pretty good. I just think I want to add a page in the front where you can write what the purpose of the logbook is for you. For me, I mean, it's mine, but it's my logbook, but I don't know why I'm saying you. I probably have this a dream that maybe somebody else will buy it. And I can actually sell something on Amazon KDP. But it's for me. And then I also am debating, so I have the way I have it set up right now is that each hike is 2 pages. 1 page is all the technical details about the hike. And then the other pages is just a blank space for notes, pictures, drawings, whatever. And I'm debating turning that second page into almost like a journal prompt type thing, like how did this hike help you work towards your goals, or yeah, I don't know. I gotta work on that, decide if that's something that I want to do, or just leave it as a blank space and I can write in whatever I want to write in there. So it's a matter, I think, of deciding how generic versus personalized I want to make it. The other thing is the cover. The cover definitely has to be redesigned. It has a horrible cover right now because I didn't know what I was doing. And debating how I want to do the cover. I'm actually kind of thinking about taking my camera out and taking some pictures and maybe using one of my own pictures as my cover. But I'm not a photographer, and I don't know how to take good pictures, so I think it'll just be a matter of go out and take some pictures, and if any of them look halfway decent, then I'll use it, but if not, I'll come up with something else. So I got a little time to work on that. I'll probably set myself a deadline on that. Yeah, I'll have to come up with a deadline for that, keeping in mind how much time it takes for Amazon to approve, and then how long it'll take to ship. So I'm thinking probably my deadline might be around Thanksgiving, probably is what I'm thinking, but I'll sit down and figure that out. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I am actually working on this idea that I had. And I'm pretty excited to do it next year. Oh, kitty, kitty. I don't know if this is the recording. I think it is. Hi, baby. We'll go for a ride? We'll go for a ride? Huh? You gonna sniff it?